before you spend another cent on what I call netcasting marketing strategies like direct mail marketing, cold calling, and texting, there is something really important you should know. I'm going to illustrate what happens when you do this kind of marketing. First, consider this illustration. All the gray circles represent random people, while the green circles represent motivated sellers. Here we have an investor. Let's call him Jimmy, about to send a direct mail marketing campaign. Here is what you think happens. Jimmy sends out his direct mail marketing campaign. He casts a net, let's say the foreclosure list. A bunch of people receive his mailer. Some of them get annoyed. One motivated seller reaches out to him, signs a contract, gets an assignment fee, he gets paid. Easy, simple, straightforward. Now, let me show you what really happens. Here is Jimmy again. He casts his net. He sends mailers out to, let's say, the foreclosure list. Like before, a bunch of people get annoyed. Yes, some people reach out to him, but most people reach out to Google. What is happening here is when you send your mailers out and people receive these mailers, you are educating these people. You are making people aware of this service our kind of businesses offers. Either they find it interesting, they get annoyed, they want more information, they want to check if you are real. No matter what the reason is, they will hit Google to find out more information. Although you get some people to reach out to you, the sheer majority of the people receiving these mailers will hit Google up, and Google will direct them to the #1 ranking website. And thus that website will get a lot of the leads you're paying for. Now, no marketing piece, no direct mail marketing, no cold call, or no text message can compete against a credible website. Your website has your name, your face, your number, your address, your pictures, your reviews. It has everything a seller needs to see that you are legit, credible, and competent. More than likely, people will do business with a legitimate company with an online presence than with some unknown person that is nowhere to be found other than a weird-looking postcard. So although you get a paycheck, the #1 ranking website with a credible business presence online will convert far more sellers into deals, getting a far larger payday due to your marketing efforts and budget. But check this out, it gets even worse. Even this is not accurate. To make you fully understand what exactly is going on when you send your marketing pieces out, you need to understand a few concepts. The first one is this: the more motivated a seller is, the more credible you need to be. A lot of people think that the more motivated their audience is, the easier it is to close a deal. That is actually the complete opposite. If you are in foreclosure, and if you do not sell within 3 days or you lose everything, are you going to go to Craigslist and find the first wholesaler you find and then hope for the best? No. You're going to ask them how many times he has done this. You're going to ask him for proof of funds. You're going to ask for reviews. You're going to ask for many things to make sure that he is legit. He has the expertise and experience to go through the transaction successfully. Here's the second concept. Everybody goes to Google when they have a need or desire to solve a problem they have. The more motivated they are, the higher the probability they are going to do a Google search. On top of that, people are not going to wait to get the problem solved. They will do a Google search immediately, depending on how motivated they are. Concept number 3. The way netcasting marketing strategies like direct mail marketing, cold calling, and texting works is that you have to send your marketing piece just when your audience becomes motivated. Obviously, that proves to be a huge challenge because first of all, how do you know when your audience becomes motivated? And second, you send all your mailers at once. So it's very unlikely that everybody on your list becomes motivated all at the same time. So that's pretty much impossible. So the solution here is a drip campaign. So you send your marketing piece periodically over time. If you send them too often, people get annoyed. If you wait too long to send them, you will lose the opportunity when they become motivated. So what people usually do is the time in between mailers is around 30 days. So every 30 days, people will send a mailer, a call, or a text. Here is the issue. What do you think happens when somebody becomes motivated in between your mail drops? Let's explore that scenario for a second. So let's get back to the market. As I explained earlier, the second somebody becomes motivated, they will do a Google search and then Google will send them to the #1 ranking website. And more than likely, if the website is very credible, they will choose that website to do business with and the website makes money. So now Jimmy appears, he casts out his net, sends mailers to, let's say, the foreclosure list. But when people receive the mailers, nobody was motivated. Meanwhile, people that didn't receive his mailer became motivated, again went to Google, Google sends them to the #1 ranking website, and the website makes more money. As people continuously become motivated, a bunch more motivated sellers hit the market. As explained before, the second somebody becomes motivated, they are not going to wait for the solution to present itself. They will go to Google and Google again sends them to the number one ranking website, and these leads turn into paychecks. I don't think you understand the gravity of this issue. What this means is that the most motivated sellers, the highest quality leads, don't stay on the market long. The moment they become motivated, they will do a Google search without delay, and they will sell to the number one ranking website or to the business with a solid online presence. In other words, if you send mailers, calls, or texts, you are always competing for the lesser quality leads, because the higher quality leads didn't wait for you. They went to Google immediately and sold to the number one ranking website. But there are people that either didn't go to Google, or they did go to Google but didn't find a suitable solution, and these are the leftovers. Either they were not motivated enough, or they didn't find the right solution to their problem. Then Jimmy sends his second direct marketing campaign out. A bunch of people become annoyed. Some will reach out to Jimmy, and some will reach out to Google. And because Google will always send people to the number one ranking website, both Jimmy and the website make money. But because far more people hit Google up than Jimmy, the business with a credible online presence makes far more money from Jimmy's marketing budget and effort. It was Jimmy that paid for that online business marketing. And guess what? It actually gets worse. Let's rewind a bit. I have already shown that when somebody becomes motivated, they more than likely will do a Google search, and then Google sends that traffic to the number one ranking website, and that website makes a bunch of money. So here is Jimmy competing for the leftovers. Now, do you really think that Jimmy is the only person that sends out direct marketing to the foreclosure list, the absentee-only list, the probate list, the texting list, and all these lists? Absolutely not. A lot of investors are sending mailers, calls, and texts to the exact same list Jimmy is sending to. On top of that, when this entire huge audience gets overwhelmed by these texts, calls, and mailers, a bunch of them get angry, a bunch of them become educated, a bunch of them become aware of businesses like ours, and a bunch of them will verify the mailers. They will verify who you are, what you're doing, what this is about. Regardless of what the reason is, a bunch of them will do a Google search, and Google again sends the number one ranking website a ton of leads. The investors responsible for these mailers, they do get leads as well, but far less in quantity and quality with respect to the number one ranking website. So the investors make some money, while the number one ranking website makes far more money, because far more people hit Google when they receive a mailer than they will hit the investor sending these mailers. The lesson to be learned here is your mailers, calls, or texts will never reach the most motivated sellers, because they are long gone before those mailers, calls, or texts even arrive. No matter what you do, be it cold calling, driving for dollars, texting, direct marketing, you need an online presence, because if you don't, you are just giving your leads away to the number one ranking website or to any business with a far better online presence than you do.